Hello, book lovers. Welcome back to another exciting episode of KSB's Book Review. How are you doing? How have you been? Long time no see. Today is the last day of January, first month in the year 2026. Hope your January was good and looking forward to a better February ahead. So, welcome to today's review. The book I'll be reviewing with you today is The Last Judgment, written by Craig Parshall. Craig Parshall is a lawyer that has solved several cases, and he's also an author that has written six different best-selling books, and he's also been involved in the co-writing of a series. So The Last Judgment is a book about an attorney, Will Jackson, who has a very, very peculiar case on his hands. He's trying to solve a case of a Christian convert from Muslim. Right, he was accused of being involved in a bombing with an Islamic cult, and he has to try to find a way to avoid this being another religious apocalypse. But another city has already been bombed to rubble. So now he's trying to find evidence to prove that his client is not involved in any of the any of the current religious apocalypse going on, and he and his young son are on a very dangerous mission, trying to find evidence, trying to find clues, trying to find ways to stop this Islamic cult from doing more damage to other Christian cities. So that's what The Last Judgment is about. My favorite part of this book, one of the things I love about this book, is that it's a very peculiar plot. It's not a plot you come across every day. Like, I think this is one of the first. I've watched it in movies a couple of times, but I think this is the first time I'm seeing a book that talks about religious differences, the differences between Christianity and Islam in such a violent way. The having to fight out. Having to the police being involved, the military and things like that. So I think this is the first time I'm seeing a book like this. So it's a very peculiar plot. And another thing I love about this book is his son's bravery. His son was always had this never say die attitude, always looking to stand in front of danger, even though it involved risking his life. And his son was just 9 years old as well. So someone of that age being so brave, it just captivated me, and it's one of the things I loved about the book. There were the words that were used in this book. Most of the words, they are simple vocabulary, easy words that I can just understand easily when you read them. So for me, there were really no new words that stood out for me in this book. But you can read the book and be like, oh, I saw this word that stood out for me, and you can check out the meaning. And if you read the book and see a word like that, you can write it down in the comments. Let me know. My ratings for this book is a must read, because the adventure, the excitement, the adventure that they had to go on to find out this evidence, the plot, the storyline, having to travel underground, having to travel through sea, having to fly on a helicopter, on a chopper, having to go underground, having to drive different for a very long time. For like 3 days they were on the road trying to get to another country because they didn't want to go through the airport. They were just trying to different things like that. The first visit to the court, the second visit to the court, things like that just made this book very extra exciting, extra engaging. Things like that that made your hair stand while reading this book. That's why I'm going to be giving this book a must read. If you're in the library or going book shopping, look out for the book The Last Judgment, written by Craig Parshall. It's a very exciting book, very engaging book. I'm recommending this book, and I know you love it. Don't forget about the reading challenge. The reading challenge is still on. Today is the completion of the first day of the first month in the year 2026, but the reading challenge is still on. So make sure you're on the reading challenge, and make sure you have friends that you're on the reading challenge with. The reading challenge, this is the first chapter, or this is the first month of 12. So I hope you started your reading challenge. It's never too late to start, but this is a great time to start the reading challenge. Make sure you're on the reading challenge now. Make sure you started. Although this is a very busy year for me, but I'll still try to smuggle a couple of books into the year. And also I'll do my storytelling for the little audience, probably from like next month. But make sure you're on the reading challenge. Make sure you have a group of friends that are on the reading challenge with you, and also make sure you have the number of books that you've read in the year so far. So we also have, don't forget, you can also tell me in the comments which book was your favorite book from last year. You can use the hashtag book of the year. I'll probably do a video with my mom soon, asking her about her book of the year, because my mom read a lot of interesting books last year. So you can still drop it in the comments, your book of the year for 2025, hashtag book of the year for 2025. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Hit that like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you just stumbled upon this video and you're new to the channel. My name is KSB. Hit the subscribe button, drop a like on the video, share the link with your friends, drop a comment, tell me if there's something you want me to do in my next video. If there's a book you think I'll read that I'll find interesting, and also drop your book of the year for 2025. Drop it all in the comment section. It's free, it doesn't cost you a penny. So drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. And also don't forget that readers are leaders who are way ahead of others. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.